Hello, beautiful
Hello, hello.
Mariam.
How are
Welcome,
you?
welcome. Doing great. We actually did a pre-episode again and we talked for an hour. But
Like
you know
always.
what? We're learning from that. And today, welcome to our I don't know which episode we are at, but we are feeling inspired and willing to talk about relationships in general and more specifically towards romantic relationships. And today we thought it would be interesting to have a topic regarding the pros and cons of being single versus being in a relationship, right? So where should we start? I feel like we could take each of our each one of us could take like a part. I could, for example, I could take obviously here single, the pros and cons, and I propose that Miriam could talk about the pros and cons of being in a relationship, right? Um, So I feel like we could start with the. Do you feel like talking about the pros first or the cons first? I don't know.
Um, let's start with something positive, no?
Okay. Okay. So do you want me to start with the pros of being single and then you go with the
Yeah,
pros of being
I'm
in a
gonna
relationship?
bash.
We might be on a debate, guys, with so much respect, obviously, but for us, it's just a
Of course,
joyful exchange right now. Okay.
of course.
Um, The reason why we feel the need or the interest to talk about this is that I've been seeing a growth, especially in our today's modern times, a growth of people having more difficulty to just find a match or just finding happiness and finding a right partner for them. And I've noticed people just starting to feel more comfortable staying single for many reasons and for the past experiences or their point of views or their beliefs surrounding being in a relationship is too much of a hassle and everything. We'll talk about the cons later on, or it's too much like I'd rather be alone by myself, right? So what we want to debunk here is just to be at peace with all of the pros and cons that might arise here, and how can we just be coming forward, and what do I actually have to bring awareness and where I'm at, and what are you recalling yourself more, and how can I be at peace with it? Because you can be single, but actually not want to be single and pretend that you're happy, or you can be single and actually truly feel happy in whatever you're experiencing right now in life, right? So let us bring awareness to your true self and what truly lies inside what you're actually saying. So it's not because I'm going to propose the pros here of being simple that I actually back it. It's just what I've naturally been hearing, and that's what I've actually observed that has been coming more forward around me. So the pros of being single, I think that many people have not learned to be by their own and truly be on their own alone. When I say alone is having their own routine, not living with anyone else, and I include their family, and actually learn to what do I actually like and dislike? What do I
Mhm,
actually enjoy doing or not? Who am I on my own? So for me, one of the pros of being single is really allowing yourself to get to know yourself on a deeper level. Not be distracted by pleasing someone else, another person, another family member. Focusing on yourself, I think, is a great gift of actually being single because you don't have time to be distracted about a relationship. I feel like another pros of being single is actually enjoying, I think it's all connected be buying on your own, but I think really enjoying yourself, enjoying your own company, right? So on one
mhm,
part is getting to know yourself. The second pro is actually learning to enjoy your own company. Are you feeling confident that you can enjoy yourself by your own? Are you feeling at peace? Are you enjoying your own presence? You know? Or do you feel uneasy? Not good.
mhm,
So, learning to enjoy your own company is just going to serve you with all types of relationships in the future, not just romantic, all your interpersonal relationship, all your professional relationship, right? Because you're not going to doubt, oh, do people enjoy my company? Right?
mhm,
Um, Another pros of being, I think, single, and that's what I've heard, or that's what I've might experience for myself, is that you get to prioritize yourself. You get to think about your needs only first. Like, I feel like going on a trip, or I feel like, you know, going to the spa now. You don't have to ask for anyone else's opinion. You just do what you want to do as of now. So that allows you to
Mm,
learn to be healthily. Maybe if you translate into a relationship, you become too like on your own and you don't learn again to reconnect and compromise yet. But in this
mm,
specific subject, I feel like the third pro with like you learn to be selfish again. You learn to just honor your own needs as of now, right now, and get to say, hey, I want to do that now, then let's do it. I owe nothing to no one. So you get to practice that for yourself. You get to practice
mhm,
to be selfish. And we're going to talk about selfishness, I feel, in another episode. But you get to practice that in a hopefully healthy way. Depends how it translates later on. But right now, just to get to practice the selfishness for yourself, your own needs, honor them. Whatever you want to do it, you do it now. Those are the pros I can think of as of now. So if you get more pros on your side, girl, I gotta have to come up with more. And I'm kidding. So those are the three pros I'm having right now so far.
mm.
Yeah.
Okay. So of course, I can definitely agree with the pros that you told me. And yeah, I think being single is a beautiful, beautiful state in life to be in, really. And I think everyone should embrace being single. Um, I also believe that only when you learn how to be single, you can actually have a fulfilling, healthy, long relationship with someone else.
Mm.
Um, so I really think it is like a how do you say like free we say in German Voraussetzung like
Yeah,
you
yeah, this
it,
thing.
it's you know what I'm talking about. So in in order to go into a healthy relationship, you need to be in a healthy state, single by yourself. Of course, I've also seen couples getting to know each other in a very early stage in life, me included, being in a very long relationship. So I know how it is, but I also know that some couples do evolve together and have the same goal towards the future during this time when you meet each other in a very young age. But a lot of couples don't, and then they have to break up because they get to know each other um, during the process, and then they maybe question the relationship. I don't say that they necessarily have to break up, but they see that, oh, there are parts inside me I need to explore or dive a little bit deeper. And right now, my partner cannot give me anymore um, something where I feel safe in. So I need to explore what is it that make me feel safe, that make me feel alive. Um, so that is a part that I think we need to figure out somehow at any stage of our life. It can also happen very early. You know, you can also be someone very aware of yourself when you're 15, because there are people who already confront themselves with what they need in life, what they are looking for in a very, very young age. Some people do this later, you know. So when you then find your partner to build a relationship with, um, it is beautiful to be in a relationship because you share life with someone, right? And I mean, I think what is beautiful in a relationship is that you are, I'm not saying that you are not alone. I think you can also feel lonely in a relationship if it is the wrong relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm talking right now about a healthy relationship. If you are in a healthy relationship, you have somehow your best friend, right? You have someone you can talk about everything, someone who accepts you with the good parts in you, with the bad parts inside you, someone who you can also evolve with, because I truly believe that we can only evolve in a relationship. We can only heal certain patterns inside us in a relationship. We can understand bad patterns inside us, traumas that we have inside us in a relationship because we are confronted with them, and then we choose to dive deeper into them and to solve them or not to do them, not to solve them. So, relationship is a beautiful reflection of where you are in your current life as an individual. Um, because never forget, even in a relationship, you are somehow always single. For me, in a relationship, it doesn't mean that you are now one. If you are one, you will lose yourself. If you can stay single in the sense of being committed to yourself, not in the sense of being intimate with other people, or whether this is emotional, physical, or whatever, if you can be single with your partner, then I think you have good conditions to create something meaningful and something beautiful together. And then it will also not feel like pressure, and it will also not feel like something that is um, heavy on you, where you feel like, oh, I'm missing out on something, or I didn't do this in my life, I didn't do this. I think with a person who has understanding for you, the person wants actually for you to be fulfilled and to find your truest potential, and to be the best version of yourself. Um, and therefore you cannot miss out on something if you have a supporting partner who wants that for you. I think that you will still somehow still have these feelings of, I am single, I can go by myself on a holiday, I can go by myself in a restaurant, I can do this trip by myself, I can meet new people. I'm just saying that in a relationship, when you have a strong fundament, and this happens over a long time, of course, and we've both been in long relationships, so this is why we know this feeling. When you have this um, level of peace, of unconditional love or deep love, you can explore yourself and find these feelings that you think you can only find when you're single through other adventures without feeling you need to be intimate with someone else or you need to be close to someone else. So I truly believe that you can seek all these feelings of being single within a partnership as well. Um,
Hmm.
but this is my understanding
I
of
love this. I
relationship.
really love this. And to rebound on what you said, I feel that the key word to remember here is partnership, right? It's not a
Mm,
dependent relationship, but it's a partnership. So you do have things that you share together in this life, and you have things that you keep in your beautiful garden on your own. So that's, I think that's what you want to honor of being single in a relationship. And as I was listening, I also realized that each one of us has our own journey. So if all your life you feel that you lost yourself in a relationship that you've had since you're a young person, and you're feeling called to go on your own and search who you truly are, then single ship, I don't know if it exists this term, but I'm gonna name it here. Single ship's gonna serve you in this name. But if you felt that in your relationship you found your mate, you connected forever and for years and years, and you've been going well, and you felt free within this partnership, and you still felt free to discover yourself, then good for you. The dynamic of the relationship for you worked and stayed because you were able to still discover yourself. Our goal here is not to label you and say, hey, stay single or stay in relationship to do da 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 or do da da da. It all depends of where you're at, and it depends of the dynamic that you are right now, right? If you're a person who
mm,
tends to get absorbed and forget that it's a partnership and not a dependent relationship, then single ship will serve you, right? But if you find yourself to be okay and be dependent, independent, and self sufficient in within your partnership, then it's a healthy way to pursue, right? I do believe that this partnership, like you said, make you feel accompanied. You share life, you share companionship. You feel like you're not alone in the little moments in life, and you have shared laughter and an intimacy with another person. And like you said, I remember my friend saying that there's some things, Macy, that you're not going to learn about yourself if you were not in a relationship, if you were not in a close romantic relationship. That is only going to come out when you're going to be in this dynamic. Because, like you said,
Mm,
you can fight with yourself, but I mean, you're not gonna have the same emotions and feelings when you get attached and loving someone else than yourself. So
mm,
it's different dynamics, as the same as the different dynamics in a professional setting. That's why I always say that it's either a gift or an opportunity what life brings you. Because
mm,
once you understand that life brings you only opportunities to grow, to evolve, to learn, to make peace with, or beautiful gifts of laughters, easygoingness, adventures, love, joy, then it is what it is. Every pain and every challenge we experience was just opportunities to grow, right?
mm,
So every relationship we are facing with are opportunities to grow, right? Because
mm,
even when it goes smoothly, eventually it's two people connecting and having different waves of energy, different backgrounds, different personality, different perspective of life, it's going to clash in a way that is not necessarily negative, but it's just going to be adjustments. But us
mhm,
humans, I do strongly believe that if we were born to just be solitary, then we would not need another person to reproduce. We would not need, and we would not want to be in a family bonding and just rejoice. And we would not seek safety with another person and want to connect.
mm,
But that's not the case. I do believe that humankind is meant to connect and to rise in a community and into a partnership. I think we're meant to develop different type of relationships so we can rise in our true essence and be even happier. So we are
mm,
meant definitely to have different type of relationships, right? Either romantic or not. Um, for me, the cons of single ship, I think I just invented a word here, is
mhm,
the opposite, the toxic opposite of what I just said before, right? So what happens is that some people who have become single for so long forgot to learn to be in a team, forgot to learn to
mhm,
compromise. So the
mm,
cons of it is that if you become too comfortable into your ways of what you want and what you want to do in an everyday life, then you stop to learn what is the beauty of actually collaborating and compromising with a partner. So the cons of being too much single or too long or getting into too comfortable into this and thinking this is my best life, Macy, this is my best way, is actually not honoring anymore the beauty of collaborating and compromising and being in a relationship, right? Because I just said we're not meant to just be isolated. So another thing of the cons would just actually be you are so much comfortable into being on your own that you kind of learn to isolate yourself emotionally. You are maybe socially engaged with your friends and your family, but emotionally, intimately way, in a romantic way, you've isolated yourself and you stop learning or you stop allowing yourself to be vulnerable with another person romantically, or admitting your feelings or actually learning to share a vulnerable space of your own with someone else. Because it's beautiful to do it with yourself, but it's another thing to be able to do it with someone else and feel received in it. It's so much more another different type of power and energy. It's combining, it's fusion. It's like a beautiful fusion, right? In your
mm,
partnership. I think those cons kind of have become for certain people that have crossed paths with, where they become so comfortable that they've stopped believing in
mm,
love, romantic love. They stopped having faith in that. And they became too
mm,
complacent and too protective of their own bubble. Is this my way or the highway? But
mm.
this is not how we grow and develop love within each other,
Yeah.
right? With each other. So yeah, I'm gonna stop there.
Mhm. So yeah, I can add. that I also believe that um, maybe we become a little bit unencouraged or like weak when we are for alone for a long time, and we find our comfortness, our safetyness within us, and it's a bit selfish, you know, and because I think in our nature, same as you, we are not meant to be alone. We are meant to be in community. We are meant to be with people, with a partner. It's in our evolution, and I just think for a period of time, people um, think or are healthy to be alone, isolated. But I think if you do this for too long, I think you also start believing in certain things that are not true anymore because you're not going into interaction with other people. Um, and this keeps you isolated even more, right? So, what are cons in being in a relationship? Um, I mean, for sure, if you are in the wrong relationship, there are many, many cons. If you are in a relationship that is not serving you, is not serving your partner, is you're not serving your partnership, like the both of you together, and you're not feeling you're accepted, or you are just with someone for the reason of being with someone. This is also a case that is happening a lot. People go into relationship for not the right reasons, whether this is a attachment wounds that they have, whether this is to fill a void. Um, so, and this can result into unhealthy patterns, and you might not see them in the beginning because you have maybe strong feelings, a strong connection, but later on, when you're strongly attached to someone, yeah, then when you didn't do the single work on yourself, then yeah, this can lead into even traumatizing ways for this relationship or for yourself or future relationships. So, um, besides that, choosing the right partner, being in a relationship um, can also be, I mean, if you're not in the right time and space in your life to be in a relationship, it can be more challenging than affecting you in a positive way. If you are currently in the state of searching for evolvement in a different way, whether this is a job, moving somewhere, going there, exploring this. I think a relationship has so much responsibility that we cannot choose to say, oh, I'm only taking this part of our relationship, but the other parts I'm not taking. So there is a commitment in a relationship. That means that your partner has the right to ask you for certain things, even if you cannot, if you don't want to give it to that person right now, you know? So this can be factors that should be um, carefully discussed from the beginning on. To how much can I give into a relationship? Am I ready to give? Am I ready to invest? Am I ready to give my energy into this? Um, and you have to be very honest with this. So if you're not in the right space, you can also cause a lot of pain to your partner who is getting more and more attached, and maybe you're not filling the needs of the person. Um, Yeah, so I think these are more preconditions of how to get or how to start a relationship. But actually, to be honest, I don't have anything negative to say of being in a relationship in
Your
general.
soul,
Even
my dear.
like, so I am just
I
so
love
much
that.
for relationships.
I
Um,
know that's why we were talking about earlier. So right now you're like, I don't see it, Macy. There's nothing. What's happening? I love that. That's great. So that means, you're joyful about it.
I
It's
am just
great.
such
You're
a true,
hopeful.
loving person, and I'm hopeful. I truly believe in love forever, ever, ever. Even if that means that you have to go through some difficult relationships that are not meant for
It
you.
serves you.
that don't serve you. Take the courage to not get disencouraged from this. We
I
all go
know.
through this, but everything is teaching you something. And be okay that God is sending you these people to prepare you for the right relationship. This is,
Exactly.
I truly believe in this, but we need
Hmm.
to be aware of it and we need to see it and we need to take some moments to be with ourselves when we don't have a good relationship, when we don't have a healing relationship. And
Hmm.
believe me, you are not alone in this. And me, I'm speaking so highly of relationship. I went through pain, but I still do believe in it because it's a choice to suffer from it and it's the choice to take the lessons and the learnings from it. And I truly believe that God is also giving you lessons that he knows or she knows you can handle. You only get the lessons that you can handle. So I believe that when you took the time to go again into singleship, to learn, to accept, and to heal again, you should not stay too long in that space. I think it's of course you should be ready to date again, to go out again. And even if it takes you 1 or 2 years to find your person, I think it's good to just go into connection again, to put yourself out there again and to just see
Without
what
expectations. Uh-huh.
exactly without expectations. Maybe you took a learning from that last relationship, like what is good for you? What do you need? With a relationship, we get smarter.
Hmm.
We know more what we want, what we don't want. And we maybe create also clearer boundaries of how far do I want to entertain this? When do I want to stop? When do I need to stop? And I think the faster you move on, the faster you will actually attract
I
the
love
love
that.
that is good for
Yeah.
you.
Oh, thank you so much. We're gonna conclude. It was very
Yeah.
beautiful and inspiring to hear and have this discussion, and we're gonna continue obviously to dive deeper in different topics. And for me, what I want to say is that the possible cons, because my dear friend is so loving and positive, and I love that because you're hopeful, and I want you to keep that hope. And what I can observe and have seen, not personally from me, but what I observe because I've talked with so many people in my surroundings and in my field of work, obviously, we're talking very intimately. The possible outcomes is that sometimes if you lose yourself into the relationship, you can come out with some traumas because you give so much power and consciously to the person you love and that you partnered with. Some relationship can actually traumatize you and actually breaks you with it because you kind of lose confidence within yourself and start to have certain doubts. Sometimes what relationships can do is actually not teach you to choose yourself and make boundaries because you're putting into your people pleasing mode. So it's everything in your dynamic that what this relationship is bringing you and what is the dynamic of being in a relationship, in a relation with someone else. How does that show up for you? So I want to conclude that at the end of the day, it's about letting go. So it's about obviously it's beautiful to have goals, to have hope, to have objectives and what you want to attract more in your life. But we have to really make sure that what we want, desire, we have to do it with love and care and confidence that we're going to attract it and not with the fear that if I don't get it, I'm not going to be happy, Macy. So that's a very distinctive intention here because your energy is going to define what you attract. So we want you to be happy and pleased with where you're at. But wherever you're at, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So there's so much to learn and unlearn in being single and also in being in a relationship, right? It depends where you're at in your process at the end of the day. But let us remember that you're going to attract what you're the most confident and at peace with. So whatever you are at right now, if you're single in a relationship, is there some fears that are arising in your current situation? And if there is, it's time for you maybe to honor them and to face them and question yourself.
Mm.
You know, what are those fears and how can I make peace with it? How can I heal from it? Anyway, so I don't know where I was going, but I felt inspired to say that. I think it's time for us to conclude, to actually close the call because time has flown. so much. Any closing words, my dear Miriam? Or
I think, I mean, I think we all know I love love, so everyone going through a difficult time, not knowing to continue to be in, to stay in the single ship, like don't give up. You know, it might not happen at the time where you think it should happen. You don't even have hope. Maybe it happens in 10 years, maybe in 5 years. There is no time for love. So it's just about stay open for it. Don't close any doors inside you. Always stay open. And just like, I think if you love yourself, then you're open to receive love. If you close that door inside you, it's difficult to let the love come towards you. You know, so it all starts within here. And I think this is my closing
oh, yes.
sentence.
And I want to say too, for those who love being single and you feel happy and joyful and at peace, it's okay as well. It's like
Of
there's
course.
no perfect recipe for happiness. It's you truly feel that you were meant as of now to be single and you found yourself be fulfilled in other types of relationships, then that's okay. As long as you honor yourself and you dive deeper within and that there's no deeper desires that you're kind of hiding or not. I'm not saying you have to. I truly believe as well, I'm on the other part of the spectrum. I truly believe as well that you can fully feel fulfilled and happy being single as well and not being engaged in a romantic relationship, right?
Yeah.
So we want to put that out
Especially
there,
as
right? We don't
women.
want to put a message, of course, but both sides are
Of
beautifully,
course.
of course. Okay. So see you next week, guys. Thank you so much. And yeah, see you soon.
See you
Bye.
soon. Bye.